Hi, everybody. Welcome back to this week's episode of the City Confessions. Today's guest is Melanie Ramos. She is a professional dancer and choreographer from Miami, but she's currently living in New York. Our paths crossed because I have taken a few classes at Revolve and she was the instructor. I just remember you thinking you were so cool, and I was like, let me follow this girl. And I wanted to just get to know you more and hear about your story. So thank you for being on. And how are you today, Melanie?
I'm great. One, thank you so much for bringing me on. This is my first podcast, so I'm pumped.
Yay! I love
And
it.
I'm just yeah, I'm excited to be with this process. And I'm happy you took my class and we cross paths.
Yeah, I love it. So, why don't you introduce yourself first of all and tell us about your dance background because I know you have an extensive background in dance and yeah, we'd love to dive into that.
Totally. So I'm Melanie. You can call me Mel. Everyone calls me Mel. Originally born and raised in Miami, Florida. I was there since 18, and then I moved to New York for college to do my BFA in dance. So I've been dancing since I was 4 years old. It was just one of those things. My mom put me in it. I hated it at first. She was like, let's just try again a year later. And then I liked it. So then I kept doing it. I've been in dance studios. I kind of trained more competitively when I was younger. So I did like competitions. And then I also was at a ballet studio. And then in high school, where I decided to get a little bit more serious. So it was
Mhm.
an art school, and the training was a bit more traditional. So modern ballet, contemporary. And I loved it. And then that's when I realized I would love to pursue this as a career. I also started experimenting with choreography at 17, and
Mhm.
that's when I was like, I really love this. So I think college with a degree in dance was the best route for me. I hate school, just anything
Mhm.
that involves using a pencil and pen. So I was like, dance is just for me. So yeah, I went to SUNY Purchase. It's not exactly in the city, it's in like
Mhm.
Westchester, White Plains. I really enjoyed it. It wasn't a party school. It was definitely very artsy. The environment there was super artsy. So I really was there just to dance, get my
Mhm.
degree. But I really am grateful for it. I met a bunch of my friends that are such talented dancers. I really feel like so much talent comes out of SUNY Purchase. I think we
Mhm.
are a very reputable program. So I'm very grateful to be a part of Purchase. Graduated in 2018, and then it was about maybe like a year in transition where I wasn't really getting any dance jobs. My goal at the time was to be in a dance company. I feel like college kind of trains you to be like, all right, like
Yep.
honestly, the big thing to do is get into a dance company. Like
Mhm.
they don't really, I feel, teach you in a sense of what other things you could do. I feel like when you go to a concert program with concert dancing, they don't really share like, oh, there's also commercial dancing. You can
Mhm.
also dance for Beyonce and all that. That's not really what I want to do, but like I know other people are now deciding like maybe that's interesting being more in the
Mhm.
commercial dance world. So yeah, when you're in college, they're definitely like concert, get in a dance company, something super reputable, and
Mhm.
then I don't know, maybe become a professor later in your life, a dance professor. So that was like my mentality. I was freaking out at like 22. Oh my God, I'm not in a dance company
Mhm.
yet. What's gonna happen? Freaking out, stressed out. And then what was it? Oh, 2019, I auditioned for a second company for Ballet Hispanico. They are a really reputable
Mhm.
company as well. They're amazing. And I got it. So I got into the
Oh,
second
wow.
company and I was so thrilled. I was like, oh my God, finally, like I get to be part of company life. It wasn't
Mhm.
officially like how the main company trains, like a 9 to 5. We were shorter hours and didn't perform as much, but it was still something that I was leaning towards, right? Because I thought at the time my goal was to eventually be in the main company. Um, then the pandemic hit, and then obviously everything shut down. I
Mhm.
don't even need to go into that. Everyone
Right.
lost some job at some sort, right? So in my mind, I was like freaking out because I'm like, oh my God, all I know is dance and I
Mhm.
don't have a dance job. And is this something I really want to do? Definitely like at 24 mid-pandemic, I was like in the lost phase of, oh my God, what am I gonna do? Do I want to
Mhm.
dance anymore? Um, Fast forward, I realized, I don't know. I actually don't know if I want to be in a dance company per se, being led by a director that's telling me what
Mhm.
to do. I don't think I'm the best at that.
Mhm.
So I realized I wanted to transition more into a freelancer position as a dancer. So I'm currently not dancing in a company.
Hmm.
If I were to get projects that I enjoyed, I would absolutely do them. But I'm actually more pursuing in my dance career the choreography route. That to me seems way more exciting. I, in a healthy way, love to be in control in the sense where I love to see my movement on others and I love to guide a room. I mean, this even plays into fitness. I like to guide a
Hmm.
room and teach clients and help them with their goals. So I feel like my expertise in life is being more of a teacher perspective versus um, maybe in the dance world, someone telling
Hmm.
me what to do. So that was a very long introduction of my dance world, but
It's
I am
all good.
still a dancer and choreographer. It's just not necessarily maybe the goals that I wanted
Hmm.
back in college. It's transitioned a little bit.
No, but I love your story because I think that's what we all go through. Like, I feel like
Yeah.
college definitely has like they instill a specific programming in us. Like, you have to
Oh
take
my
all
God.
these classes to do this.
Yeah.
And now we know nowadays that like I'm not saying your degree doesn't matter, but you
Mhm.
kind of can't switch career paths without having a specific degree. And I think it's just interesting that at 22, the society wants us to know exactly what we want to do. Like,
Absolutely.
how are we supposed to know and figure it out at like 18? I mean, for you,
Right.
it's a little different because you found your passion for dance so young. And
Mhm.
I have friends who are dancers as well, but I know you guys are so disciplined. Like,
Yes.
I'm curious
Oh
to
my
know
God.
how is that like because I know you guys also have a lot of sacrifices, like with social
Mhm.
life and all of that. So,
Really.
what was your life like?
I think just what you said, and it's so funny. I
Yeah.
thought about this even before going onto the podcast. I'm like, I wonder if she's going to ask this question. Yes, I really feel like dancers are the most disciplined
Yeah.
humans on this planet. And I mean, there's a blessing and a curse to it,
Mhm.
right? The blessing to me is whether a dancer decides to pursue a dance career or go into anything,
Mhm.
being a dentist, um, having a 9 to 5 computer
Mhm.
office job, anything. The discipline that we were taught growing up, I really feel helps us succeed in anything we want to do in life. And I think that's what's so beautiful um, about that passion, about that hobby, right? And
Mhm.
I don't regret maybe not pursuing that dance career. My friends don't regret it because at the end
Mhm.
of the day, they can still find success in what they want to do. So I'm a firm believer
Absolutely.
dancers can kill it in any
Mhm.
part of their life. The curse is almost the way that we were taught.
Mhm.
Um, can be a bit unhealthy, right? To the point where
Mm.
we it's programmed in our mind to maybe say yes to everything, or I can't say no to this because I don't want to lose an opportunity, or if I say no to this, I won't have the connections, or if I say no and say my body's actually really hurting,
Mhm.
I'll miss my dance performance and I might not get the lead role. So there are definitely unhealthy habits to sometimes being so disciplined and being afraid, oh my God, what will I not receive if I'm not so open to my career?
Mhm.
Um, so there's that, and I feel like as we get older, definitely had numerous discussions with my friends about it, where it comes into, I don't know, potentially like our love life, dating life,
Mhm.
career-wise. We notice that there are still habits in us where we're like, "Oh my God," like, we are just so used to wanting to please everyone and wanting to be, like, critiqued so bad that sometimes, like, it hurts us emotionally, um, 'cause that's just what we're so used to.
Mhm.
So it's definitely, I'm learning to definitely in my career, um, not necessarily like don't say yes to everything, but
Mhm.
also like stand your ground. If there's something you don't feel comfortable with, if your body's exhausted, if you're not potentially happy with something, speak up. And I feel like dancers in their career weren't taught to speak up. They were taught to be quiet if
Mhm.
you're really good and you go to all your classes and you're amazing and potentially if you kiss ass. I am not a kiss asser, but I've seen it be done.
Mhm.
um, you will get the job, you will get the lead role, you will get more opportunities. So
Mhm.
there's that. But it's unfortunate, and I still have, I feel like friends that maybe still feel that way because they're
Mhm.
still in their career. But when you break out of that habit, it's very refreshing. Um, and it just feels good. I really feel like I broke a habit of the way I thought in my dance career, even like the things I was eating, like the way I looked, or yeah, or like, oh my God, I need to like go into the city to keep getting opportunities and connections. And sometimes it's just a lot.
Yeah. No, when
Um,
I hear you speak, I'm definitely like dancers are athletes, right? Like I think
a
sometimes
1000%.
people try to like put them into different categories.
Mhm.
And when I was hearing you speak, I thought about like Simone Biles, like in the Olympics, like people don't talk about mental health and how that
Mhm.
should be priority aside from competing, getting a gold medal and like whatever. It's similar to like what you guys go through as well. So I'm so happy to hear that you had that moment of like breakthrough. So you think it had to do with COVID, like having that moment that forced you to like reevaluate your life?
Honestly, 1,000%, and
Mhm.
I feel like, again, the whole world probably already knows this, but every person in their career had a breakthrough moment where they're like,
Mhm.
"What the fuck?" Like,
Right,
literally, like,
right.
uh, "Why did I allow myself to think this way for so
Absolutely,
long?" And
yeah.
then it's hard. It's so mentally hard to break through to that. It's scary because this is
Mhm.
all you know.
Mhm.
So, my 24-year-old self, I was so afraid. I'm like, "Is this it? Do I not wanna be in a dance company anymore? This was my whole life. This is what I thought I had to work up towards, and I'm not doing it." But I am so freaking happy with the job I'm doing now in my fitness career, and everything I'm a firm believer of everything happens for a reason,
Me too.
and yeah, and I have no regrets. I also live life with no regrets. So, yes, in a sense, I think everyone could say they're hopefully potentially grateful that COVID helped them break through maybe some mental barriers that they were
Mhm.
experiencing. And also back to like athletes, yes, dancers are so athletes. And even like what the Olympics deals with, I can't even imagine like the competitive feeling
Like
in
the
that
pressure and
category.
the stress.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I
I know that not all dancers did the competitive world,
Mhm.
but I'm speaking for myself because from what, like 6 or I'm actually I don't remember when I actually started
Mhm.
competing, but definitely under 10, right? Under 10 until 18, you're in a dance studio with other talented people, jealous people. It's like, "Oh my god, who's gonna win?" Potentially your teachers being like, "In order to get first, you have to have more tricks or you gotta
Mm.
practice more, you gotta clean your solo more." So it's at a young age, like, my mind was so used to, like, competitiveness or, like, maybe potentially jealousy or, like, "Oh my god, this girl won. I should have won."
Mhm.
Um, Again, I'm grateful, I feel like and I'm grateful for maybe the way my parents raised me, but, like, I think a lot, and as I was getting older, like, even in, the teen years competing, I was like, "I'm gonna throw these trophies anyway. I don't even know where my awards are at this point." So I'm like, "Why am I so concerned if I'm winning or not?" Because I'm sorry, but, like, my career in fitness in college,
Mhm.
the last thing they care about is if I won Miss Star Power in 2012, you know what I mean? So it's interesting that, like, people can grow up so young being so competitive, and it can really affect their mental health. I'm grateful it
Mhm.
didn't affect me too much, but it definitely got to me, where you would get nervous to compete against a talented dancer or, like, you won 10th overall instead of 3rd, so you're like, "Well, what happened? What did I do
Mhm.
wrong?" And then, I don't know, it's crazy, the world still exists. I
Mhm.
really hope if any young person hears this, it does not matter, just go to competitions for the pictures, get cute pictures of yourself, wear gorgeous costumes, like, I can't wait till I have a kid and I show them, like, the fun times I had at
Yeah.
competitions with cool costumes and
Mhm.
cool dances, but, like, I would never explain to someone, "Oh, yeah, I got, like, 1st place when I was 11,
Mhm.
and it was so cool," because I don't even know what I got when I was a kid, so it
Right.
it really is so relevant, but I understand in the moment, you can't think that way because you're in that bubble. You are
Mhm.
in such a bubble, and it's hard to break through from. Even I catch myself as an adult sometimes like, "Oh, this person got such a good opportunity, like, I can get it too. Why didn't I get it?" Or something like that, and it's so natural. I'm not afraid to say that. I'm sure so many people still get jealous, but I blame a part of it to how I grew up as a kid, and I'm still pushing myself and growing myself to learn, like, everyone can get amazing opportunity.
Mhm.
Jealousy sucks, like, you don't
Mhm.
need to deal with that.
Yeah.
So, there's that. It's a ongoing process of growing.
Totally. I feel like you kind of read my mind because I was going to ask you, you definitely seem happier now. And hearing the discovery or the self-discovery that you've experienced, it seems like you were redefining happiness. And I think back then it's like, okay, if you win first place or like whatever the competition was, I don't really know the rules, but that made you happy. Whereas right now you're kind of redefining and saying like, I don't need to have X, Y, and Z to be happy. And right now you're not even really in what you thought you would be, right? The path that you're
Yeah.
in, but you can
Mhm.
safely and confidently say that you're happy, and I just love hearing that. And you were talking a lot about, like opportunities and sometimes feeling like it's like limited. Whereas, you need to like try to think more abundantly. But do you think that I know it has to do or stems from your dance background, but what
Mhm.
about like New York City in general? Like, is New York for the dance world like really, really competitive compared to like Miami, or like I don't really know the differences?
Yeah, no, it's interesting. I for one categorize dance in like two
Mm-hmm.
categories. You have your concert dance. If you're not familiar, that is like the more traditional background. So ballet, modern. If I were to name a few companies, Alvin Ailey, Martha
Hmm.
Graham, New York City Ballet, that you would put in the concert world,
Got
right?
it.
Then you have more the LA world, where it's commercial. So the music videos, backup dancers for celebrities,
Mm,
uh commercials, like just dancing in commercials, a Target commercial, right? So that would be more like jazz, hip hop, and just not ballet. I
okay.
mean, I would love to see a fierce ballerina like in a music video, and I'm sure that's been done before, but not enough where like I would love to see uh them blend together a little bit.
Right.
I would actually love to do that. But it's interesting. It's not like competitive where
It's
it's
just
like
different.
competition. It's a
Yeah.
different maybe type
Mm,
of competitiveness. Like even in my college and purchase, sometimes you're in a bubble, right? You're just in a bubble. You're in a big building in different dance rooms. And even when we had to audition for pieces for like our fall concert and our spring concert, you felt tension because
mm,
we're adults. It's not going to be so blatant, like, ew, why did she get the part? And then start
right.
drama in a dance studio, but you just felt tension. And I would hear other dancers being like, she did not deserve that role, or like, I cannot believe I didn't
Mm,
get this part. It still exists, it's still there. Or potentially there might be some hidden jealousy if you see your friend get an amazing company and you're like, well, why didn't I get into a company?
right.
So I know it's there. And I don't blame people for feeling that way because I feel like that's just what was imprinted in our brains. It's just
Totally.
how we
Yeah.
grew up. It's unfortunate that that's what that hobby consists of, but yes, I think it's still there as an adult because I
Hmm.
haven't been in the field of auditioning for maybe a couple years.
Hmm.
I don't know how everyone feels now. Like post pandemic, like I don't know if people feel better or they're just like, it is what it is. If I get in a company, I get in a company. If not, then it's not meant for me. I would hope that's the mentality, but yes, I do think it's still there. In New York, I can't even imagine in LA, I am sure. So,
Yeah.
but I've never experienced that
Hmm.
part in that
Yeah.
category.
Okay, so my podcast is called The City Confessions, and I know you probably don't know that this is coming, but I would love to ask Mel if you can share a city confession with all of us. And this can be anything. It can be something that is like an embarrassing story or like a deep fear of yours or like a fun fact, just like whatever you feel.
Oh my
I know
God.
you might think you might need a moment. This was like the only question I knew I was gonna ask you.
That is so funny. Like I've always categorized myself as a person that is terrible with these type of questions. Like
Yeah.
the girl, like if you were to ask me, what's a fun fact? I'm like, do not do that to me.
I know. I'm like the same way, but I feel like it's just like New York is such a melting pot of so many people. I'm sure all your friends come with different backgrounds and like walks of life, right? And that's
Yeah.
why I love like talking to different people and strangers. But then at the end, I love to just throw them like, share me a confession. And then it's interesting to see how a lot of people share the same like fears, or just like insecurities, or just like I don't know, it's just interesting. So like if you can just share something that of course you're comfortable with, what would that
Man,
be?
of course. Well, like I'm crazy, but not like crazy, crazy, where I have like a confession where like everyone's like, Melanie, what?
Yeah.
I'm also I'm such a like live life. what's
Hmm.
that? There's like a saying that Courtney says, I'm just here to live life
Yeah.
or something. That's me. So I'm gonna be honest, I have no fears in New York. I feel like I can just tackle on this city. Whatever is thrown at me, I will take it. I have no fears. Confession wise, I feel like the most like interesting parts of like my New York City life is like maybe dating life.
Oh,
Um,
I'm here for it. Tell
I
me
don't
the
know.
craziest dating experience then.
Oh God, no, not that crazy. I'm in this vibe where I'm like, I just like do not want to date. I maybe went on like 2 dates most this year. But
Okay.
like I guess like the most interesting part is like there was this man that like really wanted to be my sugar daddy so bad. He's like
How old
50,
was he? Okay.
50, 50.
Okay.
I like it.
Not that bad. Not that bad.
Honestly, I like the
He's
50.
still living and breathing, so it's all good.
Oh yeah. If he could give me the world, he probably would, but I was just like not into him. And I'm
Right.
just someone where like I don't care if you are a billionaire, sir.
Hmm.
If I'm not into you, this can't happen because
Hmm.
I'm very much about attraction. So like we met like last summer and I was like walking down the Mercer Kitchen on Prince Street and he like approached me and I was like, I'm very open. I
Hmm.
was like dealing with a heartbreak at the time. So I was like, I'm gonna say yes to everyone and just
Hmm.
talk to everyone. So he approached me and like we were having a conversation. And sometimes I just give my number out. I probably shouldn't, but I do. And so I gave him my number and then he started texting me galore, like, good morning, beautiful.
Oh
Here's
God.
me and
Yeah.
like my Rolls Royce. I mean, he was showing me all the money he had, right? But I kept ignoring that man. I was like, I'm not
I
into
am proud of you.
it. So he gave up eventually, right? This was like last summer. And then in December 2021, I was like out with my girls. I was at Butterfly Lounge. Love that place, by the way.
Hmm.
Have you been?
No.
Oh,
I
it's
like don't
amazing.
party anymore. I feel like I need to
Oh,
like I know. But
oh
I'll
my
put
God. I
that in
need
my
to
list
go
because I've
out.
never heard of that one.
Oh, Butterfly Lounge, 60 Thompson Street. I love it. I
Okay.
love to go out. I'm
You're
the
like a
sober
party
girl.
girl, right?
Oh, I am, but like sober.
Oh,
Like,
okay. Because I feel like you're from Miami. That's in your blood. You
it
guys
is. It is
love
in
to
my
go out.
blood.
Yeah.
I love to go out and dance, but like I will be up till 5 a.m. completely sober and okay. And I'm just like, it's just so fun to me. I love being around just the party environment.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I was out in December and I was like dressed really nice. And this man approaches me. He was like, oh my God, let me get you a drink. I will not say no to something free. So
Right. Especially in New York.
yeah. So he was like, "Oh my God, let me get your friends drinks as well." So I was like, "Sir, absolutely. Friends, get whatever you want." And like he was dressed so nice too. I was like so fashionable. I was like, "Get it. Get it, bitch."
Yes.
I almost thought he was like gay for a second. That's why I was like, I was gonna keep talking to this man. And then I was like, we should exchange numbers. Like, you're so fun. And then he gave me his number. And then when the number came out on my phone, it was that motherfucker from Prince Street at Mercer. And
No.
I was like, we've met. We've met
But you didn't
before.
realize it?
No.
Oh my God, this is crazy. Maybe you guys are meant to be.
Oh no, please. So I was like, we hung out for like an hour and I did
Wow.
not realize once. And he's very spiritual too. I'm
Okay.
spiritual.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, I guess it was meant to be. I was like, yeah, okay. So,
But I love this story because it shows like New York. I
oh my
because I
God.
because I've lived here all my life and I feel like it's so big, yet it's so small.
So, so small.
Yeah.
So small where it's funny. Like currently, like my friends are at this point where like they have to tell each other, girl, who did you match with? Because we cannot be dating the same
True,
people.
true, true.
It is so small. But
Yeah.
anyway, like there is like a positive to this story. Like while I'm not, he's not my type and I'm not
Hmm.
attracted to him, I do think it was meant to be as like creating a beautiful friendship. So we are
Totally.
friends till this day. I will always go out with him.
Hmm.
Yeah, maybe now and then he'll be like, "You sure you don't want to go on a date?"
Hmm.
I'm like, "No," but
Hmm.
like I
No, I
love you.
love it. I
You're
love that.
awesome. So like I'm friends with him.
Hmm.
He doesn't get me anything. Like, like
Hmm.
it's not like I still want to buy you things. Like it's
Hmm.
not that. It's really just a platonic friendship.
Hmm.
And he's friends with all my friends. Like I introduced him to like all my friends. So this is maybe not like the craziest. I know people definitely have crazier stories in New York City, but like I feel like I'm always out in like the going out scene. So like I see crazy stuff when like I go out, like maybe at
Hmm.
clubs, but like personally for me, like I'm not like where I do like rebellious things.
No, it's all good. No, I love it too because I feel you bring up such a good point. Like sometimes, first of all, I believe everybody comes into your life for a reason, right? And
Yes.
they serve a specific purpose. So
Hmm.
like although that may not have been romantic as he wanted, now you guys are friends. And like you
Absolutely.
and that took like a second timing of like the universe, like the stars to align for you
That
guys
was
to
it, that's never happened to me where
meet.
I'm like,
Yeah.
what are the chances we are meeting like 6 months later?
That's crazy.
Yeah. So no, he's awesome. And
I love it.
yeah.
Okay, we are wrapping up this episode, so I have two quick like little games. One
Okay.
is a never have I ever, but dance edition because you're a dancer.
Okay.
So you don't need no explanation. Just say if you have or you haven't.
Okay.
Okay, so never have you ever showed up to a dance class hungover.
I have never.
Okay, never have you ever like forgot a specific workout gear or like fitness or dance gear, like tights or your shoes
I
or
have.
okay.
1,000%.
And never have you ever fainted or vomited in class.
No, I have never.
That's great. Never have you ever, this is more for like teaching wise, like messed up a choreography, but like totally just like covered it up.
Oh, 1,000%. And I like have my students, I'm like, call me out if I'm wrong. So yes,
That's
numerous
good.
times.
And then never have I ever hooked up or had a crush or had something with like somebody in your class or a teacher, but in like a dance slash fitness environment.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. And then my last little fire round is New York City questions because, of course, it's called the City Confessions.
Yeah.
So it's really quick. It's just 5 questions, and you answer it with the first word that comes to your mind. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. If you can describe New York City in one word, what would it be?
Um, insane
What's your favorite thing about New York?
opportunities,
Your least favorite thing?
transportation,
Your go-to spot? I mean, I know you said Butterfly Lounge. Maybe if you have another one.
the box.
Okay. And if you can thank New York City for one thing, what would it be?
uh, thank them for my life.
Amazing. Well, now
Yeah,
it's your chance to plug away. Do you have any exciting projects that you would like to share with my listeners? Where can they find you? Just let them know the details.
absolutely. Well, thanks if you made it all the way here to listen to me. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna promote and P-Volve here because that's definitely like something I'm pursuing more now
Mhm.
in my fitness career. So we are a gorgeous studio, I'm sure obviously you know,
Mhm.
in so